I'm going to talk about game theory and how it relates to YouTube. So basically, game theory, basically, game theory is dabbing and uh, yeah, that's basically it. So there's this saying to try something and see what works. So you dab and see what sticks, and that's game theory. Right. So it's kind of like game theory is like gambling, right? Uh, the the more you can gamble, uh, the more the probability that you'll get the thing right. So the whole idea is you try and gamble in your favor, but usually gambling is not in your favor. But so you want to try it and make it in your favor. So you try and play the game that is working, the thing that you can find favor with. So the way that this relates to YouTube is YouTube, you have a lot of opportunities to try different things and keep plugging in, keep rolling the dice, right? So if you roll the dice a billion times on YouTube, if you get 1,000 things, or if you roll the dice 10,000 times on YouTube and you get 1,000 things that are working, and then you start doing the things that are working, and then you're more likely to get those 1,000 rolls closer to the 10,000 rolls. So you're increasing what's working on YouTube. So it's like YouTube is like sort of like free gambling, especially if you have infinite internet. So it's just like when you're playing a game. You try and win the game. A lot of games are random, so you want to try and increase your chances of winning whatever game it is. So the way to do that is to the to have the input into what's working. If you can do the thing a lot of times in a different way, uh, for free, uh, and there's a lot of variation. There's a lot of variation in the analytics, and but not the analytics. Like there's a lot of variation of what could work on YouTube, and you can just keep making YouTubes, especially shorts. So you have an opportunity to see what's going to stick if you do it. Okay. So the second example is there's games that have a lot better chance or a lot more skill involved. So in terms of card games, like poker has a lot more skill involved than slots, which is just random. So, or chess is a game with a lot more skill. It's almost all skill. So the two ways, those are the two ways to tilt the advantage towards you in game theory. So the thing about YouTube is it's not really about skill. It's more about plugging in and trying to find the things that work. And then after it's working, maybe you could apply some skill. But it's kind of random anyway. Like, who knows? Can we really trust the computers? Can we trust the analytics? It seems pretty random sometimes too. Like, I'm not sure you can really trust the computers or the analytics or the programmers or any of the computers at all, really. So it's just kind of like the YouTube is like free gambling, and you can kind of play a little bit with your input and what's working, and maybe apply a little bit of skill sometimes, but you don't really need the skill. So game theory, it's dabbing and seeing what sticks. It's game theory is trying to increase your chance at winning. And those are the two main ways. There's some other slight advantages, like you can try and do the best thing. And so that's the basics of game theory. So game theory can help in business or games or anything you're trying to win. So that's basically game theory. There's another thing about probability. So the thing is, if you keep rolling a dice, you just roll a dice over and over again, and you count positive and negative, you're always going to land on positive or negative, and then the balance will tip, but you can't really stop, right? There's no stopping, so it won't really even out. So the point is that the game is broken. There's no point to the game. You're not actually going to win the game, even if you win the game. So the other point to that is, even if the analytics weren't rigged, even if the computer's not rigged, you could just roll the dice your whole life and not be successful on YouTube. So you shouldn't really put any skill into it. You could just, if it's not work, if it's chill, you just make some videos, some shorts, preferably easy shorts, and hope it works. It's basically gambling. So you should find something better to do than gambling on YouTube. But since you have infinite internet and YouTube's basically free roll gambling, and as long as you're not killing yourself rolling the dice. So that's game theory. Game theory in relation to YouTube. So you just dab and hope it sticks, and don't put any work into it. Don't work yourself working YouTube.